Con bé rất là đẹp gái, xinh xắn luôn á. Em nghĩ chắc bị mụn lâu rồi đó. Tại vì nè mấy cái này là sẹo á chị. Sẹo do mụn.
Em nghĩ là cái đó bạn tự nặng đó.
Sẹo do mụn nè.
Bạn tự nặng, còn như mụn nó rồi nên nó bị thâm xuống.
Sẹo do mụn nó lại rất là nhiều luôn. Chị con của chị là con trai hả?
Dạ con gái.
À con gái.
Bạn kia học dở nên là chơi chung. Hai đứa gần nhà nhau. Ba mẹ có việc cái ba mẹ không ở nhau nữa. Thế là bạn này phải chuyển đi khác, ba đi vô khác, và bạn này đi ra luôn. Lâu là phải lên đây chơi với bạn. Gia đình mẹ đang bệnh nữa chứ. Đi mang cái ba này bắt đầu là đi thử là có bị cái ca không?
Ghê vậy hả chị?
Con mình không biết không, sáng em gọi em xin cho em chở bé đi. Cái nói em cũng đang bệnh nên là chị có gì chị gì cho bé. Mẹ sinh năm 75 rồi.
Vậy chứ chị là sinh năm nhiêu chị?
Em 85 chị. Được chị biết bé có được 4 năm rồi đó, 4-5 năm rồi. Cái thì cái thương nó từ đó giờ ba mẹ không gì nhau, cái là chia tay rồi, cái là phải đi về Tuốt với Bình Điền ở. Em không biết nó chuyển trường, em biết nó gì em cho nó học đây luôn á, ở nhà chứ.
Chị được mấy bé hả chị?
Dạ em 2 đứa con gái luôn. Đứa 12, đứa 11.
Sáng giờ có cái anh nào mà tới làm ụ mỡ không ta?
Có chị, đang trên lầu 2.
Ai làm? Anh Hương làm à? Ngon ngẩn không à. Viêm. Đây chứ đâu.
Nó mũ không nữa.
Đây xíu đâu.
cho con lấy tả ngoại á, nhưng mà tả cho mê Trinh.
Có gì đâu, mấy Trinh bình thường mà đúng không?
Mê Trinh gồng đó, để mê Trinh khỏi gồng tội nghiệp.
Sắp xong rồi hả con?
Khỏe. Xong mới dám nói, không được dám nói.
Mấy Trinh mạnh mẽ. Vậy sẽ nhanh đẹp, hết mụn da láng. Tên đẹp quá trời, Mai Trinh. Năm một rồi hết chưa? Đó, một số anh chị tưởng để mụn nó tự hết nè, tự hết thì giờ nó làm thành lỗ luôn nè, để nguyên nè lên cái nắp mày giờ thành lỗ luôn. Đây còn một nốt mụn viêm nãy giờ cô để dành, cô chưa có lấy. Ăn xíu.
Here's the text you provided, now properly punctuated. My parents skipped my wedding to attend my sister's lunch. After a lifetime in her shadow, I finally did something they never expected. I'm Emily, 27, female. Growing up as the younger sister, I've always felt like I was in the shadow of my older sister, who's 29 now. From the start, it seemed like she got the lion's share of attention and praise from everyone in our family. She was the firstborn, the older daughter, and in many ways, it felt like she got the better end of the stick in pretty much everything. For the longest time, I tried to convince myself that maybe I was just imagining things. Maybe I was just being too sensitive or seeing conflicts where there weren't any. But as the years rolled by, all these little moments of disparity between how we were treated started to add up. It became increasingly clear that my feelings weren't just figments of my imagination. I wasn't making it up, my sister really was the favored child. It didn't matter what the situation was, she always seemed to get the benefit of the doubt. Even if she did something totally out there, something you'd think would definitely not fly with our parents, somehow she'd still come out smelling like roses. On the other hand, I felt like I was constantly under scrutiny, and no matter what I did, it just wasn't good enough. Living in that kind of environment, where you feel constantly undervalued, really started to wear on me that I knew I had to do something drastic if I was ever going to find my own peace of mind. So, as soon as I could, at 18, I moved out. That distance, that physical space away from the constant comparisons and judgments, did wonders for my mental health. For the first time, I could breathe, think, and just be myself without feeling like I was being pitted against my sister. But just moving out didn't magically fix everything. Despite the distance, my sister seemed to carry on this campaign to tarnish my image with our parents. She went as far as to tell them I was involved with drugs and heavy drinking, none of which was true. The worst part? My parents believed her. They didn't even pause to consider my side of the story. They didn't ask if I wanted to defend myself, and when I suggested taking a drug test to prove my innocence, they didn't care. They had already made up their minds. That was a huge blow. It's tough when your own parents take someone else's word over yours without even a second thought. That whole ordeal just cemented my decision to keep my distance. So, I went no contact with my parents for about 2 years. Cutting them out was not an easy decision, but it was necessary for my well-being. During that time, I really started to put my life together without the cloud of family drama hanging over me. I focused on my career, built a life with my boyfriend, and generally did things that made me happy, things I couldn't have done if I'd stayed entangled in all that negativity. Living independently, I found happiness and success on my own terms. It felt liberating to make decisions without worrying about being unfavorably compared to my sister or dealing with unjust accusations. It was like I could finally enjoy life without the weight of unfair expectations and constant scrutiny. In those years of no contact, I grew a lot as a person. I strengthened other relationships, made new friends, and most importantly, I learned a lot about myself, about my strengths, my resilience, and how much I could achieve when I wasn't constantly being put down. That I wasn't on speaking terms with my parents. We hadn't talked for months. But then, I got this news that really shook me. My dad was hospitalized. Despite everything that had gone down between us, I felt a strong pull to be there for him. I've always believed that you shouldn't treat people poorly just because they might have treated you poorly. Instead, I try to treat people the way I aspire to be, regardless of their actions. So, I decided it was my duty as a daughter to show up for my dad in his time of need. During his hospital stay, I reached out, and we slowly started talking again. It wasn't easy, but it felt necessary. It was like we were cautiously mending the fragile threads of our relationship. My sister, however, wasn't thrilled about this at all. She seemed wary, maybe even a bit threatened by our reconciliation, but I was firm about my decision to reconnect with our parents. I was standing my ground this time. As things started to look a bit better between us, my parents opened up about another issue they were facing, some financial troubles. Maybe it wasn't the smartest move,